As you know, we're looking to go into this. We actually do have confirmation of our two teams here. It is going to be Ice Scream. Gonna say that very, very carefully because I'm gonna probably slur that together. But Ice Scream or Ice Scream. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen against Wild Reptiles.
Wild Reptiles. Yeah. So it's easier. Like the other one's like very easy. It's like Wild Reptiles. Okay, that's like a a team name that we. It's like a very generic one. The other one's like Ice Scream. And it's just going to have to be a thing where, it's just going to take us a little bit of time to get used to. But here we go. The first map of the Experimental Card Creator Cup here, Rich. Assembling your heroes soon. And we'll see what both these teams are going to be opting into to start things off. We are on Lijiang. This is a Lijiang Tower, and we are on Night Market. This is a map that usually tends more towards a lot of that rush style of play. And you can see already with what we're seeing in terms of the hero selections just at the start, we're going to see something similar, it looks like, between both these teams. More of that rush style with the Reinhardt. I really love Reinhardt and the ability to multi-pin. That's probably been my favorite part of Reinhardt changes so far. Shout out to Lemon Kiwi for that one. And I mean as well. I mean, also the off tanks are a little bit different here. So a lot of difference already starting at the beginning of this map.
I'm a little upset, though, that Ice Scream doesn't have a Mei, but we'll talk about it in a moment. As they look to try and push forward, already some heavy aggression into this backline position. Myta is going to now have that Reaper play, though, attempting to try and get some shell shock damage on the front position. Nice sleep as well, coming up onto Captain, has to draw back. Great separation, gets the pick up onto Potato, and even Gazit, just completely overwhelming Wild Reptiles, as Ice Scream is going to get the opportunity to bring down that D.Va potentially up close. Nice reposition in the back with the Reaper, not really being able to find too much value because Wild Reptiles is actually holding on to this very well with a nice bio nade.
With Butcher Bodhi down, that's going to make everything much harder for Wild Reptiles as the cleanup will be here. No healing left. Lucro already had a Deadeye throughout all of that. Okay, I see you on that, Cassidy. Ice Scream going to be taking this first point here, and I really love how they started that off. Doing what Rush does, just rushing onto someone that they find away from the rest of the team. They take down Yazette. That means the Soldier 76 isn't there. They lose a lot of damage, and they can kind of just win their way through attrition. You see Wild Reptiles has switched Yazette onto the Junkrat, and remember the change about Junkrat, no footsteps anymore. Silent as the night.
Silent but deadly. Almost makes it feel like you're going against another Reaper. It's just the darkness in the corner as you have a great cleanup here from Scream, able to just take this nano boost and lay waste with the Reaper, devouring the health bars in the back line, going for it, just evades the sleep dart, but now a little overzealous, is able to fade and just evade, with now that retreat back as 40%.
And actually, I really like the changes that they made to the Nano Boost. Final blows dealt by allies affected by Nano Boost decreases her cooldowns. So every time that a Reaper's just going in like Myta was there, and you just continue to start getting kills, you can anti-nade, anti-nade, anti-nade on top of that. It's a really fun and interesting change as Myta's going to go up to this Death Blossom. Oh, he gets taken out!
Oh, manages to get it. All right, now it's a one-for-one trade, though, but the thing is you've lost the support. Wild Reptiles is solely going to have to rely on Bunny right now to make sure that they can keep enough healing output. Nikos does get hit by the bio nade, so it's a little bit of healing for the moment. A second one comes through. Nice shatter on the front line, looking to dive in, but this flanking position in the back, nobody's ready for it. Gets one onto Puka and looks to chase after the support. Even gives a nice fawn wave to say bon voyage as the shatter completes it here. Scream is coming out loud.
I mean, Saxon Star was the star of that last team fight. That sound barrier perfectly timed after the shadow from Nikos to keep everyone on Ice Scream alive, and they're able to hold on to their Graviton Surge as well as this Death Blossom as Riptire's going to come out. Can it get anything?
Trying to go over top. Again, gets a little bit more of that faster movement speed in the air. Death Blossom gets a takedown, just rotating back onto this grab, cleaning up. Ice Scream is having some ice cream after this initial round, and they're feeling confident with this 100-0 matchup.
A clean 100-0, and it felt like once they got on point and secured, their standing and their positioning, they never really let it go. I like how kind of aggressive they were playing and holding that position, not letting Wild Reptiles get back in any way, always being the aggressors, the first ones to move. I think in Rush that's always very important, as we're going to be going on to our next map of Gardens. Still, Rush usually prevalent on this map, but we could see some more things opt in. It's very open. Pharah definitely lives on this map more so than anything else. Oh, come on, chat. You can 100-0? Chat.
Wow. Okay.
Come on, I mean, that's
just like their previous round score. Just like their previous round score. I'm pretty sure that was calculated. That's called forecasting.
Ice Cream. Just their name alone should have gotten a vote.
Nope. I mean, they were more aware of the hypotheses and expectations than we were as a pair of scientists. As we're entering now onto Gardens, moving into this position to see if it's going to be a quick second round taken by Ice Scream, or it will be Wild Reptiles managing to take this next round to enter into a third. Nice early Bionade into the back, though, causing a little bit of harassment onto the Ash play, needing to be very cautious playing this corner. Early pickup, though, comes through. Puka gets the elimination. Nikos has to be extremely cautious so they don't get overrun, and the healers are just pumping so much into this front line. Elimination comes out.
Oh my god.
Oh my, it is big and it is intense. Reptiles are like a Gila monster in the desert. They're just looking to clamp on and not let go.
And with Ryan on both of these teams, something that I think we need to mention as well, another change, is that Ryan now with Fire Strike, not anti-heals you, but gives you 50% reduction of healing for about 4 seconds, and that's something comboed along with anti-nades where you can really, if comboed well, secure kills very easily as, oh my god, Saxon Star, you can't just walk out against double hit scan like that, my man. That's gonna get punished.
Nope. Not gonna be, too happy about that one. Feeling it for sure in the morning, as we are still in the night with 25% continuing to climb here and feeling very confident over this bridgeway. Wouldn't be surprised if you do see Ice Scream look to maybe go to White Room, but they're going to try and contest this. They're going to play aggressively. Look at the backline positioning. Now you do have the Fade looking to try to evade, but they're still in the midst of it. The Shatter comes out. They were all focusing on the Reaper evasion, but the Shatter is there to give some assistance. Beautiful Bionade as the counter Shatter comes in. It is absolute chaos as Nikos gets a great double up there with the swing. There's a nice counter charge off the end. I'll take you downtown to the city. Oh, are you going to get that too? Oh, okay. It was close.
Nikos kind of MTD'd a little bit right there. I'm not gonna lie, there was a little bit of MTD going on with that Shatter right out of the high noon, and I love what Ice Cream is, or I love what Wild Reptiles is doing here, where Myta is playing this very aggressive flanking style of Reaper, and they're making sure that as he's going in, they aren't onto him.
Oh, what a dynamite, and a beautiful sound barrier to come in to counter it by Scream, looking to try and push forward, but they need to be, oh, that's a great follow-up onto the Reinhardt. The Bionade lands, the health bar was low, this flank into the position, harassing the Ash play to prevent any sort of value that can be consistently gained, and even gets the quick pickup onto the Mercy play. Goes down themselves, but they've opened up space to now have the numbers advantage onto the point and look to take it.
And that time it was a lot better of a combination between the engagement from Ice Scream. Myta goes in just as the rest of the ultimates are coming out from Ice Scream, and Wild Reptiles really just lose track of him, and he gets a couple of kills off the back end. 92% for Wild Reptiles. This is last fight territory for them. If they do win, they are going to be able to take this round most likely, but Ice Scream have some ultimates in their bank to hold them at the line. Graviton Surge along with the Death Blossom, very potent combo. Shatter from Nikos. We saw him MTD before. That might be what Wild Reptiles needs to break this open.
Oh no, I was gonna say they could lead in with Bob on the front, but a Death Blossom comes in, just completely annihilating the back line and shutting down both supports, and you're gonna see them punish on this front position as they sit back and just accept their fate. Captain Potato, not gonna be long for this world.
Yeah, they're going to have to retreat here. They do take out the Reinhardt, so they are going to be able to back up easily with their shield and their tank. 46% and taking upwards for Ice Scream here. Still able to keep a lot of their key ultimates. I mean, they won that with just the singular one with the Reaper Death Blossom. Now the rest of the team has kind of gotten into a good area with their ultimate economy, but so do Wild Reptiles. I mean, this next fight's going to be a lot of particle effects.
Yep, taking this White Room positioning, attempting to try and lead in, mitigating the damage. They need to be super cautious in the back, though. That Reaper play almost getting picked up. Nice survival. Sleep onto the Bob, at least buys a few seconds as the Shatter comes out on the front side. Gladheart gets a great follow-up onto afterwards. The healing is there. You've got the Deadeye from Luckrow, and they are still holding on to this, and now they've managed to put this into a final fight territory for Ice Scream.
Look around the Cassidy trying to go for Wild Reptiles, but Ash is just going to take it themselves off, and Ice Cream used a lot in that last fight. A lot of ultimates gone in terms of their ultimate economy. They have the sound barrier, luckily enough, to keep themselves sustained. But we're looking at last fight here, and we finally are seeing it. The Pharah coming out from Wild Reptiles, the desperation.
Maybe going to use that double concussion that comes through to try and maneuver some around. Sound barrier to lead by Saxon on the backside. Rez gets a quick pickup onto Nikos, but then trades out their life. The Pharah play no longer going to be getting value since the hit scan focus from the Cassidy is so true. And now with these final seconds remaining, this will be the completion of this first map, of this first match, with Ice Scream taking the win.
Yeah, chat looking a bit foolish right now with that 100-0.
I know, right?
Already not looking good for chat in terms of their prediction win rate, as we're seeing Myta gonna get that play of the game. I thought that it was really good what Myta was doing at the start, where they, were flanking. They played this kind of Reaper that we saw a little bit in competitive Overwatch last year, where you go in, you're able to just hit them with the Reaper shotguns, the Hellfire shotguns, do a lot of damage and then get out quickly. That's kind of been taken out a little bit still because of the fact that you've lost the speed boost on Wraith form, but it still does work essentially. It just is a little bit more counterable, as we saw. That's kind of how Wild Reptiles came back into the game more so than anything. But if the coordination's there from Ice Cream with this type of play where they send the Reaper into the back line and then the rest of the team go in as 5, I think they definitely look really, really strong.
And to build on just, feeling really strong, when you've got a Bionade that is landing on at least 2 individuals every time, there is no way that you can recover from that. It is just atrocious to try and turn that back around, especially like you mentioned with the Fire Strike being able to reduce the incoming healing. So you get the Bionade, let's say they hold off and hesitate to then hit with a Fire Strike to reduce it even further, so there's no ability to recover. It's just a stack on stack opportunity to exploit a weakness in that very small window of time.
Yeah, and it seems like Reinhardt is king, at least on that map. It is control that usually favors a lot more of the Rush style of compositions. Once we go to a different map, it might open up a little bit, but I think Rush and these like brawly types of setup really do thrive in something like this, because I think we have to remember that the tanks also got a lot of extra health in their back pocket, so to kind of compensate for the fact that they did lose a little bit of their damage. But overall, I mean, I really do like kind of this new style with like adding this like ability to not completely negate healing, but the 50% adds like a little like new wrinkle into Overwatch. I think that's actually super cool. And with Reinhardt having with Reinhardt being kind of the only one with that ability, I think we'll see him play it a lot. I definitely do want to see some Orisa. I want to see someone get tethered all the way back into the team into like Reinhardt swing. That's one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen in this game. I adore that change, just being able to walk up to someone, yank them, and pull them back into your team.
I mean, I felt the same way. I'm just more glad that there was a revision on it to make it last longer. That was my biggest gripe. But I'm grateful for our lovely editors on that back end, contributing to that change up on the 16th just before going into this weekend, and it really has made it a lot more elaborate and so much more fun, especially like when you're trying to just bait that player into your team. It's like, all right, now we're just gonna rush you. We're all just gonna collapse on you like a swarm, and you're gonna regret getting close enough to us. But
you know what I want to see as well? Sim. We gotta see Sim.
I
want to see support Sim
don't.
work. The thing is, we would have the way that it would have been was it would have been on Night Market on Legion, because that's usually where Sim gets played when she's a DPS. But we didn't get to see her, unfortunately. As a support, it is really interesting to be in a position where it's like, oh, the turrets are hitting me. Wait, I'm getting healed. That doesn't seem right. My brain does not compute. As our next map, it's going to be Eichenwald. Again, a little bit more open. I think on second specifically, you have a lot of options to play more dive, and it's a little bit more vertical in terms of the movement. So definitely thinking that I might see some Winston in this map. I would love to see new Winston. The fact that you can jump back onto people and kind of just send them zooming up into the air.
Well,
and
the damage boost on it too.
Significant amount of damage too.
Yes, it got boosted with the damage, which was really helpful. I think that that's something that was also really needed when we talk about some of those last moment changes and evaluation, going from just even that 50 to 75 increased damage. Those little margins make such a big deal.
I also like that you can Falcon punch people when you're...
Yeah, you really can. I was trying it, and my timing on trying to Falcon punch with a Winston was not in my favor. I'm just trying to hit that sweet spot.
It's another one of those things where it's like you're holding left click, but it's also a point where you're so used to just like continuously spamming it because you want to just keep hitting people, but now you have to hold it a little bit for a second. Well, Moira has something similar with them, and I was like really... When I was playing Moira yesterday, I was like, oh, wow, this is just very different to what I'm used to being. Like, I'm usually be able to just, like, throw out the orb immediately, but I had to, like, charge it to get the big orb. And again, just some of these like really small things that we've, I guess, taken for granted and been programmed to know. We just have to unlearn, it feels like, for this. And that's so cool. It's like learning a new game almost.
There's also just a few things because, you know, the visual effects. Like when I went into my Primal Rage and I'm like holding it and I'm thinking, am I going to know when it's full charged? And I'm just sitting there for half the duration, just making sure I'm fully charged. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to assume that it is charged. And then I am just going to lay waste to the enemy.
I mean, this is, man, I really like as well talking about tank changes. Oh, one of the, like in like HUD changes and like the visual effects, when you get blinded by Hammond mines, it was one of the most jarring things I've ever like experienced, where I was just like, what happened? I could see my HUD, everything else is gone. And I was like, oh, that's right. Hammond blinds you now.
Yep. It's almost like a real flashbang in game. Like it's just an actual just disorienting. But you know,
that's what McCree's. No, never mind. Let's not put that into the universe. I don't want McCree's Flash to. I don't want
we don't want Cassidy's to do that. No, we just don't, because it has now entered into the game. That is a possibility. We're just gonna hope for the best that nobody just heard anything we said about Cassidy. But one thing I do want to highlight, though, and you commented on this too, you know, from the more analytical sense, is that you were anticipating fights to be a little bit more long run, and that's something that we've not seen as consistently like we've seen even in like more of the GOATS meta previously. And it's really interesting to see how fast some of these fights are turning over.
Yeah, I think it's definitely proponent of those anti-nades like hitting, like you were talking about in that last map, as when we go into this map, there is a little bit more of that burst potential, bringing out the Pharah here. Both of these teams opting in for Cassidy, who, remember, cannot use Fan the Hammer. Okay, just get absolutely annihilated.
And by the Reaper play, nonetheless. It wasn't even the hit scan to have to worry about, as now you're going to see this rotation back, attempting to try and escape, unable to do so. This defensive side comes out strong.
And I think the other thing that with this, you know, Wild Reptiles composition, or Ice Cream composition rather, they really do have to keep an eye on Myta on this Reaper, because with the flanking potential that he brings, it feels like if they don't have any type of CC or any type of burst damage, he will just wraith out of there and be totally fine. So Wild Reptiles switching it up a little bit, offering again the Junkrat, the new silent assassin that we have in Overwatch, and a ton of spam to break these shields.
Silent, but explosive. As they look to try and just pump that damage in up top. Once again, though, Myta has to be very careful, looks to evade, peeking around the corner. The supports are there to give assistance as they do top them up, making sure they are ready to keep generating towards this Death Blossom, which has already yielded so much value to go down again. This is constantly the DPS like being eviscerated on this defensive position.
And I think it has to do a lot with Lucroy being able to put a ton of pressure onto this Pharah, as well as Myta, for an instance. Myta has also been pressuring the Pharah every time that they're going over this little archway, and you can already see Puka, it's been a minute and a half, and Puka does not have 70% towards their ultimate, which is like bare minimum what you'd want at this point. They are just getting absolutely pressured by the DPS of Ice Cream, and Ice Cream are about to have a 6-pack of ultimates here, Rich. If they rotate these effectively, we could easily be looking at a full hold as, oh, Myta.
Oh, no.
He's looking for it.
Myta's gonna do it. We talked about the silent but deadly Junkrat, but now it's gonna come in the back position with the Death Blossom doing so much, but they actually mitigate it quite well. The grab comes in to counter just in case, and now an amplification matrix to boost everything being tossed through that window, and now this is looking dire. Over half the time bank gone.
And good ultimate patience as well coming out from Ice Cream. They use 3 ultimates only, so they keep the other 3 that they had in their back pocket. Wild Reptiles, it feels like to me, they're just waiting for all of their ultimates to come online and then just make one last push to not get full held, as Riptire is going to be online here. Offers that one-shot potential. We have to be very, very careful, though, on the defense.
Ooh, gonna be able to get back up, but there is... Oh, just evades the trap, too.
Wait,
as the sound barrier gets a clip onto them, barely in sightline. Oh, no, this Riptire could be able to change the entire fight. Does get 2, and you're losing a support. That's a lot on Tolva to try and keep holding this, but you're actually gonna see Wild Reptiles look to be a little bit hesitant here, and they're trying to just make sure that this backline doesn't tear them to pieces.
They're so scared of where Myta is currently. They don't have eyes on where this Reaper is, and they could flank from the backline and get a lot of things done.
And now as they have presence on the point, 50 seconds to go. Nice accretion comes through to try and get the stun onto the Ryan plane from Nikos, but does get overwhelmed. Beautiful Bionade now. Again, Wild Reptiles getting serious value as now it's going to be able to take this high ground position. Looks for the far play, can't get it. The rocket barrage rains from overhead, left vulnerable in the skies. Don't stay stationary because that's an easy pickup as another follow-up onto the Mercy allows them to keep holding on to this.
Oh my gosh.
And there's the Death Blossom.
The DPS, they're just out of this world. I mean, unreal. Lucro unfortunately loses his Deadeye to the wooden barrier, the best wooden barrier I've seen in any game. The savior. Wild Reptiles don't have a leg to stand on anymore here, Rich. Only 9 seconds left. They have to make something happen with the sound. There's the flux. They can't even get there.
Nope, they're going to prevent them from touching. There is a Hail Mary opportunity to try and evade this front line, but they are not able to do so. That is round 1 completed, not allowing any percentage gained. And I gotta say, Ice Cream is absolutely on fire right now.
Yeah, it's like fried ice cream, right? That's what we would...
Oh, my heart. Oh, my heart. I really want that now. Fried... Oh. I gotta start
Well, that's
Googling
like
where
the only
local...
way you can get on fire ice cream.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, well, unless it was like an alcoholish kind of
Like a
light,
flambe.
like liqueur kind of like ice cream where you just have a little bit of blue ember on it. Okay, we need to stop this. We haven't casted in a while, chat, with Overwatch, and now we're finally being back on broadcast. And food's our thing. We love food.
Welcome to a Kenobi and Rich broadcast.
Yeah,
Here,
yeah. Experimental cup food creators talk. I don't know. But now as we take the swap of sides, Wild Reptiles on the defense here, looking to see if they can have a monumental hold just like Ice Cream.
And I mean, they're going to need it as well. It is drawable. They definitely do just need to make another full hold. But with the way Ice Cream is playing right now, I'd be very shocked if Wild Reptiles were able to hold this because of the way that Ice Cream has been playing. This aggression, the flanking play from Myta on that Reaper, really taking Wild Reptiles out of sorts, and we're actually going to see a tank combination that we don't see a ton of.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Orisa and the Zarya. Zarya obviously does offer some, more utility now with speed and things like that for potentially your DPS or for the Orisa to reposition. The other thing that we are seeing, Rich, is Mei for both of these teams. And remember, Mei now has a huge ice block and can throw people up in the air with the wall.
What a beautiful sleep, though. Mid-air finally gets picked up on the ground. That is a great initial hold here defensively for Wild Reptiles. Kind of a cheeky play. Puka goes down, though, and is going to take some time to get back into this. Yazid now able to get some channel damage into the doorway, and this should ultimately be Wild Reptiles unless something goes vastly awry.
They might have used that ice block to keep themselves alive.
Oh my goodness.
Alagrin is down. This is a very scrappy and elongated fight here, Rich.
Yeah, this is more like what you were talking about before we ever got on the broadcast. The long extended fights. Nikos now with the fortify, getting that extra mobility for the team close in proximity. In the back line, though, the Deadeye gets another. This actually might just be a swift conclusion as it's only 60 seconds into this. And also, mind you, that's like twice the size almost of an ice block for all those out there. That's a big ice cube to fit in the drink, just as it's going to be a completion here as Ice Cream comes out victorious back-to-back in this first to 2.
Ice Cream looking very, very convincing here on this map. Full holding and then just a singular fight is all they need to secure themselves a 2-0 victory. The play of the game, Ant Matrix, so much damage being pumped out here. And again, I mean, I really just like the aggressiveness that we saw from Ice Cream there, the proactiveness as well. I think they played extremely high tempo. And once they had the flanking Reaper thing down and the coordination of it down, I think they looked incredibly great. So honestly, a really fun way to start this. It's kind of the way I thought it was going to go with everything in terms of like Brawl being prevalent. I think Double Shield also has its place in here, but sometimes we do see those very elongated fights.
All things considered, I'm happy. And I think we're all a little happy after this one. And, with that being already the first game, we do still have 2 more coming up for today as we continue on through these rounds to lead into tomorrow's broadcast as well. But before we get that next game underway, we are going to be heading to a break. While you go get some snacks and some drinks, we're going to enjoy ours here live on stream for at least the moment. So we hope you have a wonderful time on your break, and we'll be back in just a moment.
From the studio that brought you the Experimental Card Creator Cup, we proudly present to you the other Experimental Card Creator Cup. Legally, we can't say this is bigger or better, but it is equally awesome. Want to get from the Zhang Tower to the moon? Well, now you can, thanks to boosting. No, not that boosting. Maywa boosting! That's right, for a limited time only, you can launch yourself like a rocket! A space rocket! But what's better than one space rocket? Two space rockets! That's right, if you download the patch today, we'll give you a 2-for-1 deal! No longer will you be levitating above the ground as Zen, waiting to be jumped by the local wildlife. You will be elevated to the nearest safe space. Get it? Space! Tired of all this space talk? Well, we're not done yet. That's right. 3-for-1, baby. Let's go! Baptiste can also join the gang. That's right. No longer will you have to depend on your tanks to make space for you. Just do it yourself. Space! Speaking of tanks, they just got tankier! I don't know if that's a word, but it makes sense! You know what else makes sense? Roadhog now has a 50% damage reduction when he takes a hit of whatever this stuff is when near another tank hero. It just makes sense! Ordinary patches are far too safe, but the experimental creator patch is off the rails. And better yet, what's a creator patch without the content? Because everyone loves good content. In fact, you wouldn't be content with the content if it wasn't good content. That's right, not only will you get the extremely fun and over-the-top patch to play yourself, but you'll get double the fun with the Creator Cup Tournament. That's right, it's back. It's bigger and better.
Wait, I wasn't supposed to say that. No, please, don't fire me. This patch, it's just so good. No, I can't miss the Creators Cup, please.
Ooh, thank you so much, Lemon, for helping me with my halts. I feel like my pull timings are really improving. I almost got a halt dynamite yesterday.
That's great work, Arissa. Keep that up. That's awesome. Who wants to go next? Oh, hello, Reinhardt player. I haven't seen you here before. What's your name?
Hey everyone, my name's Phil and I love playing Reinhardt.
Oh, me too. Reinhardt is very fun. What problem are you having today?
Well, I'm a gold player, but I should be in diamond.
Okay, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Well, why do you think that, Phil?
I'm only in gold because I keep feeding.
Well, have you tried not feeding?
Yes, I've tried everything, including not feeding.
Okay then, how about this? I can help you find some tank content creators to...
We already watch a lot of creators for tips. It's not helping us.
I still charge the enemy Genji's ult.
We can't do any more, Lemon. We need your help more than ever. Exactly. There must be something you can do. Maybe Blizzard will listen.
All right. Okay, how about this? Everyone is getting more health and more armor. You're going to be able to control your abilities. Reinhardt, you'll be able to cancel your charge. And Arissa, you'll be able to move faster with Fortify.
Wow, I do like
I
galloping.
can stop feeding.
And I'll reduce all crowd control duration by 50%.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, tank players, when you're struggling with your Overwatch gameplay, there's help available. With me, Lemon Kiwi. Because when life gives you lemons, you get a kiwi. A lemon kiwi. Lemon Kiwi not included. Lemon Kiwi hybrids are not real. Creator card balance changes are not required to be good for the game. Lemon Kiwi tank player support group does not guarantee SR gains. Not all crowd control reduced by 50%. If you have a lost streak for more than 4 hours, please consult your nearest practice range. Ultimate batteries not included. Can I stop this thumb thing now? My arm hurts. Hello? 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 Anyone?